Hello, you absolute legends. What is the spirit of speedrunning? This is a question that seems to lie at the very heart of an ongoing debate that is currently raging in the Minecraft speedrunning community. On the 9th of December, one of the most controversial decisions I've ever seen was made by the Minecraft speedrunning moderators, allowing the use of external tools and calculators to be used during a speedrun to perform actions that were previously done by the runners themselves, effectively turning every run into a tool-assisted speedrun. Since the dawn of time, one of the most crucial skills in Minecraft speedrunning has been locating the stronghold. The stronghold houses the end portal, giving access to the final fight with the Ender Dragon and the quote-unquote end of the game. The location of each stronghold is randomly generated, and the speedrunner must be able to quickly and efficiently pinpoint its position. Over the years, speedrunners have become much more adept at this skill, developing various techniques and strategies that attempt to find the stronghold in the lowest amount of time. At the top level, it's a skill that requires...
Yeah, it's just boring. Like, if you're gonna fucking pause the game and then fucking go to YouTube and put in the fucking triangulation in the calculator, or not YouTube but your calculator, and you fucking spend like fucking 5 minutes to save literally like fucking 24 seconds of throwing an ender pearl, you know, it just becomes fucking tedious.
Excellent spatial awareness and a good understanding of some basic mathematical concepts like trigonometry. But now, this ancient skill is a thing of the past. With the click of a button, speedrunners can find out exactly where the stronghold is by using external programs and calculators. Gone are the days where you needed to actually use your brain. It's so much easier just to let a computer do the work for you. If this sounds ridiculous to you, you're not alone. Many of the best Minecraft players are furious that this kind of tool is now allowed in competition. Some of them just flat out refuse to use them, even though it puts them at a massive disadvantage. In this video, we will take a trip down memory lane and learn about how Minecraft speedrunners over the years struggled to find the stronghold as best they could. By the end, you'll have a good understanding about why many of the more experienced runners find the removal of this art form to be a detriment to the game. We will also explore the uprising of these external calculators and find out how on earth they ultimately became acceptable. I will also share my opinion at the end, and it will be interesting to see if you agree or disagree with my conclusion. I really hope you enjoy. Now, legends, today we are truly blessed. We have a very special and prestigious sponsor. It's the type of sponsor that only comes around every maybe 2 billion years. We don't want to throw too many eyes though, as throwing eyes comes with numerous drawbacks. The most obvious cost to throwing an eye is the time it takes for the eye to hover into the air and then fall, allowing us to pick it back up. Ender pearls and rods, the ingredients we need to make eyes of ender, are extremely rare, so we absolutely need to recollect any eyes we can. The second drawback arises from the fact that each time we throw an eye, there is a 20% chance of it breaking and being destroyed. Therefore, the more eyes we throw, the higher the chances of us losing one or more eyes. This means we need to collect more pearls and rods in order to compensate for this, or risk losing the run entirely by not having enough eyes of ender to fill in the end portal. So throwing the minimum amount of eyes required is both faster and less risky. Ultimately, we want to throw as few as possible. For many years, the techniques speedrunners would use to triangulate were rather primitive. Eye throws seemed to be more based on feel than anything else. There didn't appear to be much structure or set logic, but there didn't need to be either. Times were relatively slow, so there was a lot of leeway. A perfect example of why triangulation is so important is a very famous speedrun performed by Illumina in February of 2020. It was a time of 23 minutes and 53 seconds, and when it was achieved, it was a new world record. But the crazy thing about this run is that Illumina lost over 2 minutes because he failed to triangulate the stronghold's position. After collecting pearls, he threw one eye, which showed him the direction. He then spent over a minute running in that direction, and he even stated during the run that he assumed the stronghold was far.
I hate to be pessimistic. I think the fortress is far, or the stronghold's far. I really do think it's far. Like I know that sounds pessimistic, but it's what I think.
However, after throwing another eye, he realized it was back the way he came, and ultimately, the stronghold ended up being directly underneath where he was when he threw the very first eye. A popular technique ancient players used to use was to draw a line using blocks along the ground. They would then deviate from this line and throw an eye. Where the new line intersected with the line they had drawn would be where the stronghold was located. An important thing to note about these ancient runs is that the players did not use the F3 debug screen. Before 2020, Minecraft was primarily run by the Japanese, who were much more traditional in the way they played. They didn't use F3 at all, and played on the hardcore difficulty setting. When Minecraft speedrunning became popular in the West, people cared far less about imposing such restrictions, and the debug screen became the most important tool in one's arsenal. The transition from no F3 to F3 is incredibly important as the debug screen provides the player with extremely useful information such as the precise angle they are facing and their exact position. In the past, players could only triangulate by using vague spatial awareness and a general feel of where eyes were pointing. Now, with concrete numbers, they could be between these tables and a calculator is that the calculation was done before the speedrun instead of during it. The power of calculators can't be overstated, and their use goes far beyond triangulation. In fact, you don't need triangulation at all. When you throw an eye, it always points to the center of a chunk. Therefore, if you get an accurate measurement, you can know where the stronghold is with a single eye by drawing a line where it points and seeing where it intersects exactly with a chunk's center. It is impossible to do this without using external tools, whether that be a calculator or a spreadsheet. The mechanism is in my opinion irrelevant as they serve the exact same function. This didn't stop people from beginning to use these spreadsheets, however, and the players that used them claimed they were legal. Eventually, a new poll was conducted to see if people wanted to unban the use of calculators, as it seemed like this rule was now ineffective with so many people using spreadsheets. And shockingly, the majority of people voted to allow calculators, effectively making Minecraft speedrunning a tool-assisted speedrun by default. I honestly don't understand how a decision like this could be made. I think sometimes people get caught up with trying to arbitrarily lower their time or beat others that they forget what the point of a competition is. Ideally, the goal of a ranking system is to differentiate players based on their skill levels, where the greater the skill, the higher the rank. Obviously, Minecraft has a ton of luck involved, but I don't understand how removing a component of the run that revolves around skill makes things any better. Not only does this defeat the purpose of speedrunning in my opinion, but it opens the doors to other tools as well. We are already starting to see people construct tools that help tell us where the stronghold is without even needing to throw any eyes at all. This can be done through identifying certain features like buried treasure, nether portal orientation, and others. We can input certain information into a program and it will tell us where the stronghold is likely to be, and the types of calculations it performs could never be done by a human. One of the biggest arguments that was used in favor of unbanning external calculators was the fact that it's difficult to police them. Another was the fact that some streamers were getting help from their chat anyway. I personally find the idea of getting help from other people during a speedrun to be offensive, and is something that should be banned. I also don't think that something should be allowed just because it's difficult to detect. I don't think that's ever a good reason. This decision is even more surprising after how well they handled the issue with pausing. Earlier in the year, I made a video about the growing issue of players abusing the pause function in order to make decisions, because pausing stopped the timer. When it became a concern, the moderators took steps to punish pause abuse by enforcing rules. And now, pausing is no longer a problem at all. And Minecraft speedruns have become much better to watch because of these rules. In the 1992...
Wait, you can still pause. Or when was this? This was this year or something. I don't know. I think that here's the thing. The people who are streaming, they obviously don't want these calculators because it makes it less fun for viewers if you sit there and then you go on your other monitor and you fucking input everything and blah 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 blah. If they're speedrunning Minecraft, what I don't understand is why the people who aren't streaming would want this anyway, because it's just like, because no one is policing them anyway, you know what I mean? Like all the runs are streamed anyway. It's I don't know why they would input this. Like no one would benefit from this. The people who aren't streaming, would they want to sit and do this off stream? Not really either.